Hello everyone. Our topic for today is, do you know your blind spot? So for those who don't know me, my name is Rabab Alma. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and international life coach. Let me know where you are joining me from. Write down in your comment the city you are in. What's the weather look like there? In Philadelphia here we have, it's cloudy and we have rain. We can't wait for the spring, the real spring actually. So again, share this video and thank you for joining me. The topic for today is, do you know your blind spot? So when we first start learning how to drive, they teach us about the blind spot, that where the rear view mirrors don't really show you everything, because some spots are too close to be seen by the driver. So the driver needs to get out of his or her comfort zone and lean forward, look to the side to see if the road is clear so they can do the turn that they need to do. How about in our lives? Are you aware of your blind spot? Write down in the comment, tell me yes or no. Do you know what is your blind spot? So blind spots usually something, or we can notice them with repeated patterns and incidents in our lives. So we keep having the same relationship. We keep having the same person in our life. We keep missing that promotion at the job. We keep overgiving. We keep doing something repeatedly over and over and over. And we keep complaining and blaming others. However, the common factor in all of these stories is you or me. So unless we realize that the common factor is you, and then you try to really think about it and reflect on it and see what really lies underneath that. There is a huge difference between ignorance and denial. Denial, like we know the information. It's not like the inability to get or understand the information. It's our ability, astonishing ability actually, to understand the information and then automatically block it from getting into or to sink in with our consciousness. It's just, we just live in denial. It's too much work sometimes. It's too difficult or troubling to know exactly what's going on that we need to change. Unless we feel what we feel and know what we know, and to have that awareness about ourselves, then we will not be able to live that authentic life we want to live with people around us, with the people we love, and most importantly, with ourselves. So think about it. See what patterns keep repeating in your life. Things that you keep blaming others for, but it keeps happening. See what's going on. Sometimes also we want to pay attention to what people compliment us about. So it's not about negative thing. The blind spot can be for something positive. That's something we don't recognize, something really positive and good about us that we don't recognize. What people say when they are angry repeatedly with us. And I'm talking about, of course, people who have your best interest. Excuse me. Best interest in your heart. What do they say? Or people when they are very happy and appreciative of you, and you see them saying stuff that it does not fit you, or you think it doesn't fit you, but you keep hearing it. So maybe it's about time to think about it and see, oh, maybe I do have this positive trait that I never recognize. So what do we do? How do we know our blind spot? So first, we want to see and acknowledge and maybe confront what we are really afraid of. What is it that we are afraid of, that we don't want to really deal with? Second, we want to know what is it that we do not accept about ourselves. What is it that you keep pushing aside? Third, your senses, feelings, your intuition, that it's usually there in our guts, inside, and we don't really pay attention to. Start noticing and see what's happening in your life and what's being repeatedly happening. Some people live their lives and they don't know their blind spots. And that's very sad, because these blind spots actually affect all our life, all aspect in our lives, everything in our lives. And we keep telling stories that they are not really very accurate, because we are not really recognizing our role in it. So we keep talking about this story and saying all the events that's happening, but we are not really highlighting the main character in the story and his or her contribution to what's happening, which is you. So to help us really recognize the blind spot, we might want to seek feedback from people around us, people we trust, and we know they have our best interest in their heart. Don't forget, sometimes those blind spots are obvious to people around us, but not to us. We live in denial again. So sometimes people, maybe people try to draw our attention to these blind spots, but we were reactive. We reacted very harshly, so people then stop. They don't want to really talk about it. They don't want to mention it to you anymore. Or sometimes people are polite. They don't want to state the obvious. They don't want to talk about it. So how about if you solicit that from people around you that are close to you, or maybe strangers who are not really invested emotionally in you, and they can give you some feedback. Maybe a coach, maybe a therapist. Someone can give you feedback about your blind spot that you can reflect on. So first we want to know also that these people have our best interest in their heart. Second, we need to really look into this feedback and see if it's useless or not. So useful information or useful feedback requires action, and it's specific. So if someone says, sometimes you project maybe negativity, there is an action required from me to be positive, to change my outlook to life, to do something. So there's an action. But when it's like just vague and there is no specific action, so it's not helpful. Third, we want to really reflect. Just say thank you and reflect. We don't want to be defensive or judgmental. We want to be gentle with ourselves. We want to take this information and let it sink in. See, is it true? Where is it applied in our life? Professionally, personally, relationships, our children, our spouses. Look into it and see. Awareness is amazing. Awakening is to have this genuine relationship with yourself first, and then with others. To live this peaceful, genuine life. To feel at peace inside. We need these people in our life, that they can be a sounding board to give us diverse, different perspectives about us. Again, because sometimes we cannot, or we don't see our blind spot, not sometimes, we don't see our blind spot unless we get out of our comfort zone to check it out, And sometimes we need someone else's help to help us figure it out and to make the change in our lives. And then to be able to drive ourselves where we want to be. If you like this video, please hit like and share it. And if you would like to contact me personally, you can private message me, and I will include my email and my website in the comments below. Thank you so much for listening and for joining, and I wish you a wonderful evening.